And now I'm joined by Rebecca Lecomte, and not only is she also a curriculum integration technology teacher here with Hampton City Schools, but her son, Ozzy, is a fourth grader at Spratley Gifted Center. And thank you for being with us today,
Thank you.
Rebecca. Rebecca is going to show us a little bit how students are able to use Google Apps for Education, or is now called G Suite, to type documents, to create presentations, to create spreadsheets, and also to use a feature called Google Classroom that a lot of them use with their teachers to keep track of grades and assignments. So maybe, Rebecca, you could start us off by showing like how a student might log into Google on their device.
Absolutely. So my son's in fourth grade, and he doesn't have a one-to-one device, but he is using Google Classroom at school quite a bit, as well as the other Google apps. So for starters, I go to the regular Google sign-in page, and I want to make sure that there's no one else signed in at the moment, so you may have to sign out of your personal account. And the children have a username, that's their first initial last name, and then 3 digits. My son is J. Lecomte 001, and then it's at student.hampton.k12.va.us. And once they have typed in their email address, they have a password, and your child probably knows their password, depending on how old they are, but you can also contact your school building to get that password so that you can log in and take a look at your child's accounts.
So they would know, and probably their child's teacher would know too.
You can ask the child's teacher, you can call the main office, but the child probably knows the password.
Okay.
All right, so once I log in, I had this take me actually directly to Google Classroom. So being a fourth grader, he's not using email very much, but his teachers love Google Classroom. And you can see this is the launch page, and he has 5 classes that have been set up. So he has a class for each of his core subjects, and then he actually has a class for his music teacher when they were preparing for their holiday program, where she shared video clips and stuff like that for the kids to practice with.
Sure, so I can see the teachers' names, and I can see mathematics, social studies, science, and language arts. So could you show us one of these classes?
Absolutely. So let's take a look at this math class. So to get into the class, I'm going to find the name of the class, and it becomes a link so I can click on it. And it takes you directly to something called the stream. So Facebook and social media users will kind of recognize this as sort of your main timeline or something like that. And so you'll see the titles of the assignments. You might also see an announcement or a question post. So there's different types of posts. And in this case, my son has several posts that are up here as assignments. And you can see a little open button over here on the right-hand side. So they'll open the assignment, and then the text of the assignment will explain what the child's supposed to do. It might contain a link or a video or even a Google document or a Google Slides presentation to work on.
That's great. Well, you mentioned like a Google Slides or a Google document. Could you show us how a student might create one of those things, and what would they use them for?
So Google Docs are like word processing documents, and so the teachers can set them up directly in Google Classroom, or the kids can go with their Google account. They can go to this little 9-dot app launcher that's up at the top right-hand side. And when it comes up, you can click on it, and you can see the different Google apps in G Suite.
Okay.
Docs is blue. And when you click on Docs, it gives you, first of all, a listing of all the documents that are in your Google Drive. So these are things either you've created or teachers have created for you and added to your assignments. And then it has across the top a bar with either templates, which are pretty great, and then a blank document.
Okay.
So if I want to make just a blank document, I'm going to click on that plus sign. And now it looks quite a bit like Word or word processing software that you might have on your home computer.
So if your student has to type an essay for class or put together a report for class, they could do a Google Doc.
Exactly, and it automatically saves everything that they do, so there isn't any worry about losing your data as long as you're connected to the internet.
And I know that sometimes, like, my daughter will have to create a presentation for her science class. What would they use if they wanted to put together like a PowerPoint presentation? But I don't have PowerPoint on my device.
Right, so Google's version of that is called Slides. Okay. And again, when you click on the app launcher, you find the Slides icon. This one is gold. And when you go to the slides interface, you can see that it has, again, Google Slides presentations that you may have made or that teachers have set up for you. And again, a bar across the top with either templates or a little plus sign where you can create a blank presentation.
Okay.
And it is a great deal like PowerPoint. The kids can put in different themes, they can bring in images, video clips, they can add animations between slides, and these are all things that make those presentations more engaging for the kids to participate in.
Well, thank you so much, Rebecca, for showing us those things. I know as a parent, many of us get caught at the last minute trying to help our children with homework. And so we hope that today's program has helped you have a few more resources to use the night before that big project is due. Thank you for watching The Digital Bridge.